What I wouldn't do for a drink. Black Mirror is real. And put on a mask, for God's sake. All that and more coming up right now on the BS Podcast.
You're listening to the BS Podcast, where we cover all of the bull in the news and more. Now, welcome your hosts, Dave and Zach.
Hello and welcome to the BS Podcast, the show that talks about the top 10 most absurd, ridiculous, and bullshittiest stories over the last few days. I am Dave, and joining me is my fellow connoisseur in bullshit, Zach. Zach, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I am excellent. So excited to talk to you. Really, I think this show is very much therapeutic, Zach. We can kind of have a laugh at everything that's going on out there in the world. I don't know how you feel. I'm just absolutely fatigued with everything related to COVID-19, and I'm getting the sense that a lot of people are feeling the same way. How are you there? And do you see this just like me as a bit of therapy?
Yeah, it's not only therapy for me to just lay on the therapist's couch and just talk about the bullshit, but it also gives me an excuse to get up and get dressed and take a shower first thing in the morning, because normally I don't take a shower till like 5 o'clock, in the evening. So. Yeah, we record this on Tuesday mornings for anyone watching or listening. So, I got to get up a little bit on time. I should say I was about to say get up early, but actually it gives me an excuse to get up on time.
Yeah. Maybe, for people who struggle with personal hygiene, one of the suggestions, if you're maybe writing a book or some educational material, is get involved in a podcast. That way we'll guarantee you'll clean your body beforehand. Oh, yeah. You just need to do a show every day, Zach, and look where your cleanliness or where your personal hygiene will go. I mean,
I know you do Facebook Live almost every day on Informed American Facebook, and man, you look great every single day at 1:00 p.m. So
scrubbed and polished,
yeah.
Not really. But Zach, before we get into the national stuff, well, actually, let me run down the topics, and then we'll move from the national to the hyper local bullshit. See if we've got anything cooking there. All right. For number one, by the way, we've got 10, but we don't really rank them in order. Maybe that could be something we do, but this is in terms of and just what's catching our eye and just kind of running through. And I don't have a real system. I just order them how I please. Anyways, number one, thank God I'm rich. Number two, an advancement in civil rights. Number three, the gig economy dies. Number four, this enhancement could save your life. You guys want to pay attention to this one. Number wow, I can't count. See, this is why I didn't say the numbers before. Next, what was that? Number four. Number five, Black Mirror is real. Number six, I hate it, and I don't know why. No, I think I'm wrong here counting. What I wouldn't do for a drink, leaving the numbers aside here, put on a mask, for God's sake. You guys are going to like this one. Then the second to last one here, I don't like it, and I don't know why. And then we're going to round it out with enforcing the law in the swing state of Florida. This is a really fun one, so you don't want to wait till the end for this story. It's absolutely hilarious. All right, that was me butchering our topic, Zach. Let's move from that to hyper-local news, hyper-local bullshit. What's going on in your sphere?
So things are starting to open up back in Maryland. They opened golf courses. They're allowing people to take their boats out again. So because of that, I'm getting the fuck out of the house. And on Wednesday, tomorrow, I am going to go fishing. So that's kind of like half of it. That's not bullshit. But what the bullshit part is, I was talking to my dad thinking like, okay, we're going to go out and get drunk, go fishing, whatever. And he goes, boat leaves the docks at 5 a.m.
Oof.
However, it's all the way on the other side of the state, which is 2 hours away from my dad's house, which is about a half hour away from my house. So right. That means in order to get to my dad in time for us to leave, to get to the boat in time, I got to get up about 2 a.m. to get down there and go fishing. So I'm like, well, fuck.
Are you going to even bother going to sleep?
Yeah, exactly. I guess not. Get an hour's sleep, get up and go fishing.
Well, you could stay over there, right? Maybe, and get like 3 or 4 hours in, get up over there.
Yeah, I could, but if I'm there, I'm probably going to end up staying up drinking. So because I'm with him and I haven't seen him in a while, you know what I mean? So
what are you guys going to be fishing for?
It's trophy rock season. So apparently the captain we talked to, we're going on a charter trip. They've been,
nice.
They've been hitting the hell out of them. So we're going to hopefully catch some
So getting up this early is the reason why I don't fish. It's
Yeah.
one of the reasons, because I hate it. I did it once. I took a boat out in the Gulf of Mexico, and it was just an absolutely miserable experience for me. I didn't enjoy one bit of it. It was a really rough, choppy day. I actually got into a car accident later in that day because I was just tired and not paying attention. It was an awful, awful experience.
You don't always have to go out in the morning. I mean, I've taken some charter trips that are like afternoon, half day, where you leave. Boat leaves dock at like noon. That's a little bit better, but
my other problem is, and I'll just admit, I'm a grown man, but I don't like touching fish. I like touching bait. I'll be honest.
I don't mind it. It does suck when it's easy when you got like little fish. Like I don't know if you're catching perch or something, whatever. But when you got like the trophy rocks, like and you're catching like 50-inch fish or whatever, and you got to hold them up like this. You know what I mean? It's like all slimy, like covering your body, and it's like so heavy. You're like, fuck. That gets a little gross, but
So I don't really. I'm not familiar with that fish. What is? I've never even heard of it. To be honest,
rockfish. Yeah. I think it's striped bass is the actual name.
Is it good eating?
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah, they're big. They're big Maryland fish. It'd be kind of like saying like crabs.
Oh, okay.
They're a big Chesapeake Bay fish. They like come up to Chesapeake Bay to like have their offspring or whatever, and then like they go back out in the mouth of the Atlantic Ocean, come back up. That's the mouth of the Atlantic is where you get the big fish. But so I think we're going to go out near there.
Excellent. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you return. So you take the day off.
This is turning into a fishing podcast, I guess. Now.
I don't want to. Let's move on from there. And not too much to report on my side, other than, like I said, just getting tired of all this stuff. And I really am. I want the world to move. I think we all want the world to move on, and it just won't. And we're just kind of stuck in this haze, and it's a little bit frustrating. But at least we can come here and have a laugh at things. So, Zach, let's get started on our first one. Thank God I'm rich, referring to the new child of Elon Musk and Grimes, who got stuck with possibly the worst name in the history of names.
Yeah, do you just feel bad for the kid with his stupid ass name?
Yeah,
it's like that Key and Peele sketch with the teacher that is pronouncing all the weird ass names. No,
Speaking of, so this thing is spelled. I'm sure many of you have seen this. It's spelled X. AE together. I don't know what you call that. And then A-12. So now Elon Musk, in case you're confused of how to pronounce it, we've got a video here. Elon Musk was on the Joe Rogan show, and here's how you can pronounce it. Let's take a look.
On Thursday's episode of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, Musk explained that it was Grimes who mostly came up with the unique name, and here's exactly how to pronounce it. Take a listen.
I mean, it's just X, the letter X. And then the AE is like pronounced Ash. Yeah. And then A12 is my contribution.
Oh, why A12?
Archangel 12, the precursor to the SR-71. Coolest plane ever.
All right, so there you have it. X Ash A12.
So did this help, Zach?
All right, so there's two funny parts to me. The very first thing that strikes out when you watch this video is that who made this video, they used a Photoshop picture of the baby with tattoos on his face to look like Post Malone, I think it looks like.
Okay, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, why would fucking People magazine use that picture?
It's creepy.
It is creepy. But second, like, Elon Musk is... like facial expression and mannerism when he's trying to like explain to Joe Rogan what that A/E symbol means, because he knows it sounds fucking stupid. You know what I mean? It's almost like he's embarrassed to say his own child's name. Like,
he's absolutely embarrassed.
Like, you don't have to give him a normal American name, like, Jeff or something like that. But like, you could have gave him something weirder. But like Elon, that's a weird ass name. But like, it's still normal. It's still pronounceable. You know what I mean?
I mean, he is, because he's been on Joe Rogan a lot, and they're, I'm assuming they're friends, and they clearly have a good rapport. But yeah, he's embarrassed. He's like, dude, yeah, I don't know. It's like Grimes made this happen. Basically, I don't know. We're something.
But and then it's also funny that at the very end of it, he says like, and then A12 is my contribution, which he makes it seem like that's okay. Like A12, like Ash is weird, but A12 isn't. Like, actually, Ash is like a pretty like if his name was just Ash, like
Ash, yeah.
ASH, I'd be like, that's a normal name. What the fuck is A12? You know what I mean? Like
it's okay. So there's I guess Grimes clarified some things. X stands for, quote, the unknown variable. The diphthong AE together, which does look cool. It does look cool, kind of like Eon Flux or something like that. I always kind of like the way those look. It stands for what Grimes calls her elven spelling of AI. I guess artificial intelligence. I don't know. And A12 is one of was Elon Musk's favorite plane. So.
Yeah, isn't like the Archangel plane? Like I was like, so is this kid's name Ash Archangel?
Yeah.
But he's like, no, it's X Ash A12. Like, okay. And I've been trying to like pronounce it fast, thinking like maybe if you say it fast, it sounds like a normal name, like Exash A12. You know what I mean? I'm like Exash A12. Like, but still, it doesn't like it still doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
Apparently, the grandmother's just going to call the kid X, which I agree with. The stupid thing about all this, the bullshit, was one of the pieces of bullshit in all this thing is not only is it a stupid name, but it may not be able to, since the child was born in California law stipulates that a name can only be one of the 26 letters. So I guess the kid might have a different legal name.
Yeah. So the kid can't have half of his name. He can have X and A. He can't have the dash. He can't have that stupid ass AE symbol, and he can't have the 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's just the letters of the alphabet. Yeah, because the AE won't. I don't know what that is. Is that Greek or something? I don't know. So yeah, he just has the X.
Yeah. If I was the kid, I would just be like, why couldn't you just name me Ash? That's even better than X. Just like it sounds like a normal like name. It's still weird, but it's it's normal enough that like I don't get in trouble with the law. Apparently now.
We all remember Gwyneth Paltrow naming her baby Apple. I think this certainly takes the cake, right? There's not even
100%.
no comparison.
Yeah. No comparison.
Elon Musk has been out there. He's always been a controversial guy. One of the things, the latest thing going on is the governor of California shut down his plant. Essentially, he was ordered to shut down for the lockdown stuff. And apparently, Musk this week or just today or something decided he was going to turn the plant down a week early. So he's like, basically, come arrest me, come get me, I don't care, kind of a thing. I don't know. He's kind of I think he's a very polarizing figure. A lot of people like him. A lot of people don't like him. I actually really like Elon Musk. I think
he's entertaining as hell to watch. I loved when all the weed smoking issue went on. When he went on Joe Rogan and smoked a blunt on his show, it was incredible. But yeah, in regard to that, I saw another tweet that he put out that he said he was threatening to move Tesla to Dallas or somewhere in Texas, I think, Nevada. Yeah. I think it was like Texas/Nevada, excuse me, was his actual tweet because of all the lockdown shit. So he's crazy to watch, man. It's entertaining.
Yeah, he triggers a lot of people. There was I think I shared this tweet with you. A California assemblywoman, I believe, went on Twitter and said, "Fuck Elon Musk."
Yeah, you sent me that. But I mean, he's doing cool shit though. I mean, there was something I saw a while back. It was something where there was these, I don't know, he invented some kind of like submarine to go save these people or something like that in a certain situation. I don't know the facts. This was forever ago, but he does do pretty cool shit, and so. He's fun to watch, and he's, seems to be doing some good for the world.
Yeah, whenever there's some kind of a crisis, he's like, he seems to be willing to lend a hand or shift production to help develop something to, help out people or something. Wasn't there people like stuck in a mine once too, and he helped out with that?
Yeah, that might be what I'm thinking of. But yeah, I'd rather see some like crazy ass, wacky, mad scientist like Elon Musk who just happens to name his kid XA, some stupid ass name, you know what I mean? But he's still like doing good for the country rather than some like billionaire of some like gigantic company who doesn't give a fuck about anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who just named his kid John,
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to take it. I'm willing to take a little bit of stupidity there for I think the good outweighs the bad, and certainly all the stuff he's doing the stuff he's doing trying to get people into space is really cool. It seems like, I mean, he might be ahead of NASA in terms of like getting people out. So.
He's definitely he's got a bigger budget than NASA. So
I know. I mean, he's talking about sending people to Mars, and it's just
you're not gonna see my ass in one of those planes. No way.
I don't even like going on a plane, so I couldn't imagine trying to bust through the atmosphere with that. I mean, exhilarating might be one word, terrifying maybe another. I don't know. Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't want to go walk on the moon or walk on Mars?
No. I'm not even going to. No.
Very simply, no.
Flat no. I've watched too many movies with people floating out in space and just like, dying there.
Yeah, they tend to all die.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, every movie you've seen about an astronaut in space does not go well. Think about that. 1 second.
Yeah, it's no thank you. We'll let maybe you can knock me out and then I'll wake up there. No, it's still dangerous. I don't want to do it. But I encourage other people, go ahead and leave. Go for it. All right, Zach, let's move on to our next story, an advancement in civil rights. This story comes from Informed America. Judge declares strip clubs eligible for payroll protection. So, of course, when Congress passed that huge, $2-3 trillion relief bill, one of the relief packages, one of the clauses was that the Small Business Administration declared that businesses of a prurient sexual nature were not eligible for this taxpayer cash. But a district judge ruled in Michigan that put a preliminary injunction barring the Small Business Administration from enforcing the rule, and said, look, Congress can't pick winners and losers in the payment protection program. It would normally be absurd to conclude that Congress meant only to provide financial assistance, among others, to certain sexually oriented businesses and private clubs that discriminate. These are no ordinary times, and the PPP is no ordinary legislation. Zach, finally some justice there for the strippers and the owners of strip clubs.
I'm worried about them, man. They're hurting. They can't get the business. This is affecting them, and they need JG Wentworth, 877 cash now, and how dare anyone stop them from getting their money? That's
they're a business just like anybody else, right? What's the difference? I mean, they're suffering. They work. They earn cash, and I don't see. It's bizarre to me that clause would have been written in there.
Yeah, and I'm sure everything they're doing is completely legal, right? You know what I mean? They're not drug dealers. They're not prostitutes.
No, nothing shady's ever gone on for people who work at strip clubs.
What I mean? Yeah, nothing at all is ever, nothing shady ever. So
it does not attract a cast of characters who may or may not be selling drugs or their bodies. But
yeah,
let's leave that aside. Let's assume everyone here is an upstanding individual. The strip club thing, and we talk about innovation in business. I would say the strip clubs have been maybe among the most innovative during this global pandemic.
They have Boober Eats. What was the other one? The Drive Up Strip Show in Vegas that we talked about.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about strip clubs on this show now that I think about it.
Me too. Well, it's because your mind is always in the gutter.
I know.
All right, well, that's all I had on that one. Let's move on to the gig economy dies, and the bullshit here, which we'll get to. Well, first of all, did we say what the bullshit was with Elon Musk? Is it just the fact that is there bullshit, or is it the bullshit that there's all this stuff surrounding him? What would you say there?
I would go as the bullshit is that California saying they can't name him what they're doing. That's my bullshit take on it.
Because I'm going to disagree. I think if you can't stick to the 26 English letters, then screw you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what's also bullshit? The word prurient. I still can't pronounce it.
All right, so you sent me this article, and I looked it up. And I thought we had a typo on informedamerican.com because I've never heard that word in my entire life. Because
there's two R's in there, and I just cannot get it around my head.
Prurient. I was like, what the hell am I looking at here? You know what I mean? These all these big words. I don't know what they mean.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the gig economy dies. 3,500 employees of Uber were fired over a 3-minute Zoom call, Zach. Oh, my God. Horrible. This is, out of touch, right? You're just, hi, guys, we're having a hard time, and you're no longer on.
Yeah, see ya. It's like breaking up with someone via text message.
Oh, it's horrible. This comes from a story from the Daily Mail. Daily Mail obtained a video of the call. It was clearly leaked by maybe all 3,500 employees sent to the media, where Rufin Chavalot, head of Uber's customer service, broke the news. We're eliminating 3,500 frontline customer support roles. Your role is impacted, and today will be your last working day with Uber. Goodbye. Thank you. End meeting for all.
That sucks.
Oh, horrible. This is one of those things. Well, I don't know even how long. I think Uber shut down ride sharing. This has been going on 2 months. And, if you're one of the drivers, I don't know what the hell you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you get paid by the drives you do? I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people are losing their jobs right now. It's not, I don't think the bullshit is necessarily Uber firing people. It's just the way that they went about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
and the story here says they have a net loss of 2.9 billion. They announced that after they have a hiring freeze and they've been cutting their work staff. I mean, they're suffering this entirely. You think about all the stuff that's that relies on, because we normally think of like restaurants, bars, and stuff. That's been kind of the center of our conversation. But yeah, Uber ride sharing. That's, I mean, you're right. How many people go in and out of a car like that? I mean, it's almost, it's not as bad as a subway, but it's essentially public transportation,
Yeah.
right? Putting a lot of people at
Uber,
risk.
Airbnb, that's another one. You got to think about that. But Lyft, everything really.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good point about Airbnb, because I saw a story recently about a lot of people. That's their business. It's not they may buy a house, put a mortgage on it to then rent it out, and then that dries up. Well, you still got to pay your mortgage, so that's that's not a good.
Yeah, and you know what? It pisses me off because like I've had like 2 vacations during all this get canceled because we can't go anywhere, whatever. And of course couldn't get refunded. It said I had to put in a special request to get the refund from the homeowner, the person doing the rental.
Really?
And, yeah. And both of them said no. Both of them
And that's
said,
it?
Yeah, both of them were just like, no refund. If you cancel, you don't get a refund. So I'm like, okay,
well,
great,
that's ridiculous.
and I emailed Airbnb and I was like, you put out a statement saying you were doing, refunds because this is special circumstances.
Yeah.
And they told me no. And they're like, well, it's still up to the disclosure of the person that's renting you the place. I'm like, then why the fuck did you make a statement saying that you were going to do refunds if it's going to be at the disclosure of the people? And the reason why is exactly like you said. They have these homes or apartments or condos or whatever, and they still have to pay their mortgage regardless of this. But when you think about it, I'm sure that like a lot of mortgage lenders are given forgiveness during this time. I know I've gotten shit in the mail from the people who do my mortgage that said like if you have hardship, you can go into forbearance for like a month or two. So why the hell didn't they do that? And then they gave me my damn money back. But
I agree.
Whatever.
Now, will this affect your future bookings now that you got kind of screwed over here?
Probably not. Just because I like using them. No, but it's still bullshit.
Yeah, no, that's absolute bullshit. All right, let's move on to some more. Let's maybe the ridiculous. And again, this enhancement could save your life. Woman saved after breast implant deflected bullet away from her heart. Zach, not only can you become more beautiful, but you can protect yourself with your personal bodily security.
I know what I'm buying my wife for Christmas, Dave. and I can just say it's not. It's to save your life, sweetheart. That's what it's for. So
it's protect your heart.
Yeah, exactly. I have your heart, and now I'm gonna protect your heart. But no, seriously. This is crazy. And the picture, I don't know if we can put up the picture because I don't want to get flagged for YouTube.
Yeah. Now there's no nudity here, but it's sort of Go ahead.
Even with the black bars across the nipples, there is a picture on there that we can show that I'm going to put up right now. But it's the picture of the actual like implant with the bullet hole going through it.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. How does silicone stop a bullet? I guess it doesn't really stop it. It just changed like the trajectory of it. But still, that's nuts. Like I would expect it to just shoot like right through. It's basically like Jello or some shit, right?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was like saline, but maybe this is a little slightly different. But yeah, so here's this woman in Canada. She was just walking down the street, and she says she only realized she had been shot when she felt heat and pain in her chest and saw blood when she looked down, according to a report published. It says the victim here was treated, no additional injuries. It just had a fractured rib. During surgery, surgeons removed the woman's left breast implant, which Zach just showed, and it found a bullet tract which aligned with the entry wound, but no bullet. They later examined the right implant, but found that it had been flipped upside down. I don't know what the heck that looks like. And the dome of the implant was damaged. A bullet was located beneath the woman's right breast in her chest. This literally, it got in, it kind of like just poked around and slowed down just enough so where it didn't do any real damage. Unbelievable.
Did the bullet like flip her implant upside down? Is that what it did? So it just hit and went like, and then
it kind of ricocheted. It went into the left, and then it maybe I guess it would hit the right, maybe in the bottom, and made it flip, and to make a. We'll be curious to see what the heck that looks like.
Yeah.
An inverted implant.
That doesn't sound natural to me. I think maybe she got those breast implants on the black market.
Yeah.
She went to like a sketchy motel room and had someone inject her with, you know, like with like the needle.
Yeah. Or like travel down to
Tijuana
Honduras or something
yeah.
for 75% discount, and you come back
Yeah.
with like no organs left or something, and
Oh,
an infection.
I wonder if they give a disclosure like this, like now, like these breast implants cannot save you from like a bullet. If that's
Yeah, because you can be like a female cop. You'd be like, well, I don't need to wear a flak jacket. I got my implants.
yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. That's just it's absurd, but great.
It is absurd.
Yeah,
I don't know any bullshit in this story. It's just crazy, and we want to talk about it.
it's hilarious. All right, so let's move on to some real bullshit.
All right.
Black Mirror is real, Zach. We get these robot dogs patrolling in South Korea. So the four-legged robot will be patrolling this park to remind people that safe distancing measures starting on Friday. The dog, the robot is called Spot. You know, just like your friendly neighborhood dog. It will assist with safe distancing at parks, gardens, and nature preserves managed by the National Parks Board. We got to show this video. This is absolutely creepy and terrifying. And God help us if these things ever turn on us. Let's get into this video. Zach, tell me why I shouldn't fear for my life after seeing this thing walking around out there.
Well, if you've ever seen Black Mirror, these freaking things look just like the killer robot dogs from the episode called Metalhead. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw this video. And, you know, I've seen videos of these same robots before. I guess it was like whatever the facility was that invented them.
Yeah,
but
maybe
they were
like
like
Boston Dynamics. I think that's one of them.
something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like they were doing a test where they were trying to show its mobility for if it gets like knocked off track, how it can like counterbalance itself and like keep walking. But it's like videos of them just sitting there with these bats and like hitting it and poking it with sticks. I'm like, one day this fucking thing is going to get self-aware and it's going to turn around and start like, and it's going to like tear your limbs off. You know what I mean? Like we need to be very careful about what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, we like civil rights, you know, for women and businesses, but I don't want civil rights for robots because they're going to turn on us. This is crazy. Now they put there's a tweet here that shows basically a warning that this thing is out there, and that the Spot is able to traverse through various terrains autonomously and will aid in safe distancing in park. Safe social distancing in parks and gardens. We seek your cooperation not to disrupt it. Well, it's disrupting me. I mean, what is it doing? I mean, there's no video of what it actually does. I mean, if you get close, will it just come and does it talk to you? Is it like RoboCop, or it's like citizen or something? Like, please disperse.
Yeah, please disperse.
Yeah.
All right. You know damn well like there's going to be people destroying this thing. It's going to go like that video we showed last week of those dumbass kids having the rager and they threw the cop in the water. Could you imagine if a robot dog walked up to them and started like trying to be nice? Please disperse. Like, no, they're going to pick it up and throw it in the water just like that guy, and then they're going to ruin a probably $1 million+ piece of equipment.
I mean, bullshit. Additionally, this is just the beginning, isn't it? We could see more of this. We're going to see more of this. We're going to see these kinds of robotic creatures. I don't know what, like doing things like policing, crowd enforcement. Like, this is coming.
If anyone listening watched the most recent season of Westworld, and they had those gigantic, like 30-foot tall riot control robots, like, you know, fucking everything up. That's going to be our future. You know, I mean, it's just a matter of when, not if, when. And you know, this is just the beginning.
So. And when you mentioned this is in Black Mirror, and this is like fiction becoming reality, right?
Oh yeah, and you know Charlie Booker, even like he even said people were like, "Where's season 6 of Black Mirror?" He even posted an article like a week or two ago. He didn't post it. He was quoted in an article like a week or two ago saying like, I'm working on things, but there will not be a season 6 of Black Mirror anytime soon because basically 2020 is already fucked up enough and no one needs another season of Black Mirror. And it's probably because he was probably sitting in that damn park and saw one of these things. It was like, holy shit, That was like on our Metalhead episode, and like people are starting to replicate what we're making like on
The
television.
robot told him to put on a face mask or something, and he just like had a nervous breakdown. Like,
Yeah.
I can't handle this world anymore. Well, at least if you're dealing with that, you can come here and have a laugh. But as you know, that the world continues to go mad in its own way. We've got a story here out of Alaska saying, this is our story. I hate it, and I don't know why. Alaskan school board removes controversial books such as The Great Gatsby. If you can go back to see they had this is the Manitoka. Geez, I don't know why I decided to try to pronounce.
I can't pronounce it either.
But some of the books included Catch-22, The Great Gatsby, and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Now, I hadn't read that one. That's an autobiography by Maya Angelou. I don't know what's really controversial about that one. But somebody asked, is there a reason that we have to include books that were labeled controversial in our curriculum? I would prefer they were gone. And then when asked about the books, one of the councilmen says, I'm pretty familiar with all of them, but if you ask me to articulate for you what's controversial in The Great Gatsby, I could not do that. Well, thanks. So what are you banning it for?
Yeah, exactly.
Can't even say what's wrong with it.
It doesn't make any sense. It's not, you know what I mean? They're the great American novels. Like, what does this have to do with anything? It's not like propaganda. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like spreading. It's not like it's brainwashing people. It's a fucking book. Like, what? It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it doesn't endorse violence or anything like that.
And I think this one hits a little close to home because, like, The Great Gatsby was like the first book I ever actually read in high school. Like going through school, like I hated reading. I didn't read anything. I would like every English class, we would get a book and I wouldn't read a fucking page. I would go to Spark Notes at night for homework and that was it. But The Great Gatsby like actually made me like reading a book. That for some reason, that's the first book I ever read where I was like, this is actually pretty cool. I like this. So it's just weird. It's mind-boggling. I don't even know how to describe like why this is happening.
It is a great book, and yeah, this is very stupid. But what do you think about just to broaden it a little bit? What do you think about banning books in general? Should there be books banned at any level, or would you allow anything to be published? Just to throw it out there.
I mean, I think about almost like mature rating for like video games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you know how much shit you can do in video games, and does the mature rating stop anyone from playing them? No. So like we don't ban video games, right?
What about something like the Anarchist Cookbook or something that like shows you how to make bombs or like a terror guide or something similar to that vein?
I don't know. I mean, you can find the same shit online. There's a bigger chance of kids going online and looking up how to make a bomb than there is you read it. Open
people are gonna figure it out anyway, right?
Yeah. I mean, so.
Well, where do you draw the line for school curriculum? I mean, these clearly look like horrible cases. I mean, but is there? I guess is it just like the video games where something just might be too adult themed for children, and is that as far as it goes?
I would say so. I mean, I don't know what else you can really do. I mean, by there has to be some kind of cutoff, but as far as like, there's nothing controversial about those books. I mean, you're not going to take a stack of Playboy magazines into a school and say, hey, we're reading this in English class. So like, if whatever's appropriate by age, right. But there's nothing inappropriate about the books they banned.
No.
You know what I mean? So.
All right, I agree with that. I think this is absolute bullshit. Maybe this is one of those things that it did catch our attention. And by the way, you can find the story on Informed American. But it seems like some of the things that they're slipping under the surface. I think last week we talked about the U.S. military releasing that UFO video. People are kind of like, while there's a pandemic going on over here, we're going to try to do something else on the side.
Yeah.
That book I was always hated, Great Gatsby, and now I can finally ban it.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, let's move on to this hilarious story. And this is almost like a movie or a bad comedy. I don't know. Man in underwear boards moving wine truck, drinks, releases 5,000 bottles worth of wine on the highway. And I know this story caught your eye. This is one you wanted to highlight of the week. Do you want to let me read just a little bit here, and then I'll let you take it away. It says a California man only has underwear climbed beneath, the story comes from the UK Independent, beneath a moving trailer truck filled with red wine before opening a valve, drinking from a tanker, and spilling thousands of bottles worth of wine on the road. So this guy basically flagged down this delivery truck, this tanker truck. He says he pulled over, and then the guy came out only in his underwear. He's just wearing his boxers and a face mask. So this is the new thing now.
Good thing
normally
he's wearing his face mask.
Yeah, you gotta have that now to gotta protect yourself from coronavirus when you're acting weird. Which brings up something else, by the way. Now that everyone's wearing masks, and I'm surprised we haven't seen more of this, people, committing crimes with their mask as a way of not getting identified. Is this a concern of yours? Because it's something I'm thinking about every once in a while. You go into the gas station or you go into some place. I'm just masking up. You can't.
Yeah.
I already got gloves, so you don't have to worry about fingerprints. I'll cover my whole face because I'm going to protect myself from the coronavirus. You'll never find me. What about that?
I don't know if it's necessarily a concern, but what I have thought about, I noticed this when I was like standing in line for getting into like some store, but a guy walked by without a mask on, and everyone's like standing in line, turns and looks like, oh my God, he doesn't have a mask on. Oh my goodness, he's dangerous. 2 months ago or whatever, it was the exact opposite. If you were sitting in line for a store and someone walked past you with a face mask on, you would think that they were about to pull out a gun and shoot the place up or something like that. You know what I mean? Now it's the complete opposite. It's like the wackos are not wearing masks.
Yeah, that's true. And not only for if he's like a crazy criminal or just like that. It was almost like a stigma because I was one of the early mask wearers, and I felt people looking at me like I was weird and I was crazy for wearing that mask. And yeah, it's interesting the way that social dynamic has shifted to the complete other way. Sorry, let's move on to this. So, sorry for my digression there, but basically, this guy starts he emerges with a mask on and underwear, and the truck driver's like, "Okay, this guy's weird. I'm going to start backing out." So as he starts leaving, this other guy in the underwear, he runs up alongside of the car, jumps on top, and then gets his way underneath the cargo tanker, unscrews the bottom valve, and just lets, I guess, the wine pour all over him, and getting his fill. It's insane.
This is like some shit out of a cartoon. There's like a GIF from The Simpsons of like Homer Simpson sleeping and he's having a dream sequence, and it's like in his dream, it's him. It's like a beer truck is like spewing out beer, and it's Homer Simpson like running in circles under the beer. And it's like this is like what this guy is doing. And I think the real bullshit is this asshole wasting 1,000 gallons of wine. I think like they said on in that article, it's like the amount of wine that he wasted by being an asshole was enough to fill like 5,000 bottles of wine or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And here it says, so the individual was able to release the wine from under the tanker. He placed himself under the tanker in such a manner. The best way to describe this was somebody doing like snow angels.
Just sitting there like, you know what I mean? Just like, like such a fucking waste. Like, if you want to do that with wine, why don't you go buy a kiddie pool, go buy like a bunch of cases of wine, and then lay in it like margarita pool style, like Last Man on Earth. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous.
How much would you? So he wasted 1,000 gallons or 5,000 bottles. How much would you say he was able to drink on his own? Or did he not even drink it at all?
Probably didn't. I mean, he probably got a couple mouthfuls. I don't know, how much else he got. He probably just was one to swim in it. I don't know.
Oh, unreal. But hilarious. The cop said, I've listened to thousands of calls. This one's up there in the top 10. So.
I can't believe it came out of California. I half expected this to come out of like Florida.
Man.
Yeah. Nuts.
And the thing is here, this hurts everybody because, we're all home. We got nothing to do but drink. Well, some of us, but yeah. And this is valuable wine that needs to get out to the public, and this jackass is pouring it all over the highway.
Maybe he's like an activist. Maybe he's like doesn't believe in alcohol. Like he's like a religious activist, and he's just trying to do his like good deed for mankind.
This is like the teetotaler. This is like the book banning, if that's the case. Because I hate alcohol, so none of you could have it. Just like I got some problem with Maya Angelou's autobiography, so we can't have it in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Jackasses all around. All right, Zach, let's move on to put on a mask, for God's sake. And this is one as well. This is an ever-evolving story, situation at the White House as a couple of staffers tested positive for the coronavirus. And Zach, what was the response from the White House in their way to ensure that the rest of the White House staff can stay safe from this pandemic?
Nothing. They just basically gave a big middle finger and said we don't need to do it because they said no, we're not going to. I think the quote that I read was saying like the only reason we would wear masks is to keep the media safe, which okay, that's nice for you, but that's nice for the media.
Yeah.
But like you guys are supposed to be strategizing and coming up with a solution to all of this, and you're just not giving a shit about your own health. Like if one of you goes down, that's going to throw a big wrench into your plans.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
if there was that NBC article where there was a picture of them all in that big meeting, not social distancing, not wearing masks. And I'm like, if there's even like a trace of that in that room and that spreads around, you know what I mean? And like, Trump gets it, Pence gets it, you know what I mean? It's going to spread like wildfire throughout there. And in my mind, I was thinking like, you guys, you need to be at work coming up with a solution, but at the same time, maybe you need to protect yourselves so that way this coronavirus doesn't get in the middle of you guys trying to come up with a solution. You know what I mean? And so basically they just said, fuck you, we're not wearing it. And the whole funny thing is just the way this story progressed to begin with, because it was almost like, no, we're not doing anything. And then those two staffers got sick.
Yeah.
And then Mike Pence still said, no, I'm still not self-quarantine. And then, come this past Monday, it was like, yeah, maybe we should all start wearing masks and self-quarantining.
Yeah, so now finally we got a report that now masks are going to be required. The White House has directed all West Wing staff to wear masks at all times in the building except when they're at their own desks, which I think is reasonable. But what took you so long? And to the point, you need to be setting an example for the country. I remember there was an example of Mike Pence maybe a week or two ago visiting some hospital. He wasn't wearing a mask. There's a CNN story here we have here that Trump himself said he cannot envision wearing a mask in public, and many of his aides take their directions from him. There you go. It comes from the top. Nevertheless, pair of staffers testing positive caused widespread concern among aides at no new product. I'm like, I don't want to get sick. What? And he says not to wear it. So what? I'm going to feel stupid if I wear it. Here goes back to that social dynamic we were just talking about at the grocery store, right? He's not wearing it. Should I not wear it? And then now they're all going to wear it. So now I got to wear it, but the president's still not. It's still confusing. Well, Trump doesn't listen to anybody. But anyway.
I think from the quotes that I've read, I think in his view, if he's seen wearing a mask, it's like a power move. It makes him look weak in a sense, but I think it makes him look smart, and I think it would make a lot of his supporters or anyone else that maybe is fighting the whole mask wearing thing, as we're going to see in a later video
coming up next.
Maybe they say like, well, okay, you know what? The president's doing it. Maybe we should all be doing it as well.
Yeah, we have that is a great segue. Before I do want to just post something to you, because shortly after this, President Trump was tested. I'm assuming he's tested like every day, and he tested negative. So he's out there and he's not getting sick. So is that like a way of showing everybody, it's kind of okay? Maybe that is that, as you said, showing strength. But you're saying it's better to look smart than strong.
I think you could be both smart and strong, I guess. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't see how him not wearing a mask is a sign of, I don't see how him wearing a mask is a sign of weakness, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Now, let me go further though. Do you think, this is just hypothetical, maybe even referencing back to the UFO thing, people at the top, people like Trump, people in his inner circle, does he have access to maybe some sort of a secret, I'll just call it a secret protocol, a secret medication he may be taking something that we don't know about, that's publicly available or even in the public knowledge, that he may be taking some kind of a drug that can limit his, if he gets exposed, limit him getting infected?
Yeah, maybe he's swallowing light bulbs. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Then why hasn't it been released? I wouldn't put it past like something secret, like how people have been saying like for years that there's like a cure for cancer and only billionaires or whoever can afford it. You know what I mean? And it's not public knowledge. But I don't know.
I mean, forget Trump. Just say the president of the United States dies from COVID-19. That would be absolutely shocking, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. It would be devastating for a lot of the country. Regardless, like Republican, liberal, like if the president dies of a virus that we're trying to like protect ourselves from, like that means like at that point, like nobody is safe because the president is protected like no other person in the entire country. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. So I'm actually all right. So I want to answer my own question. Is I hope that there is actually something that they're giving him that maybe could be part of something that can be used for the broader public. So that's sort of my, like we know about aliens and we're just not telling you yet. We're waiting for the right time or something, or there's we've got some secrets that we're testing and then we're going to make it all better or something like that. So I'm a little hopeful for that. That's something that's giving him some protection from the virus. That's what I hope. But I didn't give it to their staffers though.
Yeah, maybe Trump is like patient zero. Maybe he's like the test subject for all of the virus stuff. You know what I mean? So
some would say Trump is the virus, but hey. We'll leave that aside for now. Yeah, Zach, you were saying this. Speaking of masks, the importance of wearing them, but if you're going to wear them, you need to wear them right. Unlike this lady, let's take a look.
Hello. How you doing?
Pretty good. I need 10 on pump one, please.
Where'd you get that mask from?
Well, since we have to wear them and it makes it harder to breathe, this makes it a lot easier to breathe.
Cutting it? Yeah, I'll do that too. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate you.
I love the guy filming her, and he's like trying to act so normal about it. You know what I mean? He's like fucking with her, and she doesn't even realize it. She's too stupid to realize that he's fucking with her. You know,
that's good advice. I'm gonna try that. What do you wear the mask for? It makes it hard to breathe. Well, okay.
It's like you see people walking around with face masks on where they got their nose hanging out of their face mask. You know what I mean? It's like you breathe for your nose, dumbass. Like it doesn't help anything. I was sitting there like 5 minutes before we started recording, thinking about this stupid ass woman. And I was like, what? Her doing that, both cutting a hole in your mask like an idiot and also letting your nose hang out. All right. That's like having sex with a stranger who has STDs and you're putting on a condom, but you cut the condom in half because you think that the condom's too tight fitting around your dick. That's what this is like. It makes no sense. Like you're going to get the virus.
It almost makes it worse because then it always just gets concentrated or something. Whatever might have gotten deflected off the mask, it goes right. I mean, does she not? I mean, what is there no thought here? Is it simply it's too hard to breathe? But she must, at some level, she must know this is completely invalidating the whole point of wearing it, or is it oblivious?
It sucks. I agree. I wear glasses. I can't go out without my glasses fogging up, like I don't know, like that scene in Titanic where they're having sex in the car and the windows are all foggy. That's what happens to my glasses every time I put on my mask. But I also don't want to get coronavirus and die. And if I have it, I also don't want to spread it to anybody.
Well, all right. So the solution here, if you were like this woman from Kentucky, you would pop out the lenses out of your frames and just wear your glasses like that and go about your day. And someone says,
that would be her.
They fog up. So I don't want them to fog up. So this is how.
Yeah, that would be her solution. But the thing that frustrates you, like, she's just going in there to put money on her gas tank, I think. She just walked in and walked out. Like, you can't not wear a mask. You can't deal with it for 5 fucking minutes. You have to cut a hole in your mask for that, like, little time. Like, get over yourself.
Don't wear the mask.
Get over yourself, man. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather you, exactly. I'd rather you just not wear the fucking thing. And then, like, at least now you look like a hard ass and, the police can come and get you or whatever. But
absolute bullshit, absolutely absurd, ridiculous. Maybe the dumbest person we've ever encountered so far on the BS pod, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's move on to our final story of the day. Enforcing the law in the swing state of Florida. This story comes from the Daily Mail. We've got exclusive. These are the wild photos of Florida Sheriff Gregory Tony attending a swinger party where he's seen squeezing his wife's breast and posing with a partially naked couple and smiling with a man between his legs. Zach, now I don't know if we can consider these photos too racy or not. Possibly. Well, you can go to the Daily Mail and check this out yourself if Zach feels like it's a little.
Yeah, I was thinking about because I see these pictures and I want to put up the one of him like spread eagle like this with his wife like hanging on him and another dude like in between his legs, and it's the funniest shit. But I don't think we're going to get away with putting these pictures up.
No, I don't think so either. Now, these photos were taken in August 2015 and April 2016 at a monthly Liquid Bliss parties that are in a secret location in downtown Miami. These are absolutely swingers. Now, this is just like the mask story. This one has been developing because this sheriff is in Broward County. Now, what happened in Broward County was that Parkland school massacre. So the sheriff there was, I believe his name was Scott Israel. The Florida Senate and Governor DeSantis removed him because of the response to handling it. I think you remember while the shooting was going on, the deputies weren't going inside, and one of them even admitted to being too scared to go in. And meanwhile, they just let this kid just absolutely massacre the whole high school. You heard about all this, right? About the delayed response and their cowardice. So get rid of Sheriff Israel, and this is the guy that Ron DeSantis says he's the man to lead Broward County. Now I think they have an election coming up in August, so he's there until then. And actually, Sheriff Israel's running again. And this is not the first weird story about this guy. Just I think a week or two ago, it came out that he admitted that he had shot and killed someone when he was 14, and now he's a swinger. So is this really the best choice to lead Broward County to enforce the rules?
Based off the track record of the swing state, as you put it, I guess he's right on par with the citizen base. But
who would you vote for, Zach? Would you vote for Sheriff Gregory Tony to lead Broward County, or would you reelect Scott Israel?
I'd vote for the swinger man. What you're doing in your own time. I guess that's really no one's business.
Yeah, none of this was illegal, although killing someone, but he was a minor, so I guess they, but still, I still think we can do better here.
Oh yeah. When I first saw these pictures, the whole bullshit I thought about it was that these assholes are not social distancing. There's no masks, and they are all on top of each other, like it's a typical swingers party. And then it got me thinking, like, how do you even have a swingers party in COVID-19? That's what I thought.
Well, you can wear a mask, right? Be safe. Mask and gloves. People might like that.
I mean, the mask might not be fun, but and then and then I saw it was from 2015. I'm like, oh shit, he just likes to have a good time. Good for him.
Yeah, they do.
None of my business. The pictures is what just killed me. It's ridiculous.
They're hilarious. They're absolutely hilarious. Now, what do you think is going on here? Do you think maybe his opponent, Scott Israel, former Sheriff Scott Israel, maybe he got a hold of these photos and leaked them to the press? Is this like electioneering business going on? Like opposition research?
That would make sense. That would make sense. But I guess he doesn't care enough, about being sheriff to get him taken down.
Yeah, no, if I didn't know this, it wouldn't have bothered me. So maybe the bullshit is the fact that this stuff is even coming out. Is it like now I don't know. So the thing with Scott Israel was he was terrible at his job. Now this guy, Sheriff Gregory Tony, he could be great at his job for all I know. Yeah. All I know about him is that he's a swinger. That's literally all I know.
I didn't know him who he was or anything before I saw this article. So so he likes to, dip his stick in other women. Who cares? Whatever. Hey. As long as it's consensual and his wife is okay with it. Hey, not my business.
You, buddy.
Yeah. As long as he's not basically, as long as he's not a pussy and could still do his job and not be cowardice, as you put it. That was a better way of you putting it, but still.
That's right. If God forbid there's another school shooting, I just hope he sends his deputies in there to save those kids and not let them whatever they do, like what's it called, forming a perimeter or something like that, which does nothing.
Yeah, if he's saving lives, he can go have sex with as many women that will consensually have sex with him. That I don't care.
Have at
whatever.
It, guys, girls, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Good. So, if that's how you got to blow off some steam, then go for it. So I'm calling bullshit that of all this controversy. Although it is hilarious to look at these pictures and just sort of look at this story. This guy is a very unique individual.
Oh yeah,
with an interesting history. All right, Zach, that does it. Those are our top 10 bullshittiest stories over the past few days. I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope you're enjoying this show. If you are, we'd love it if you would hit the like button and subscribe. We appreciate all the support we've been getting from all of you. And Zach, they can catch us on some podcast platforms, and as well, if they get more stories like this, they can go to informedamerican.com, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Informedamerican.com. We got a lot of stories on there, especially under the BS tab. That was kind of the inspiration for us building this whole podcast. If you want to listen, there's a podcast button at the top of informedamerican.com. I have all of our episodes ready for you to listen to right there if you don't want to listen to on your mobile devices.
Excellent. For Zach, I am Dave, and I've had enough of this BS.
You've been listening to the BS Podcast with Dave and Zach, part of the Informed American Radio Network. Please like and subscribe today in order to get fresh new weekly episodes. Please send us your BS stories to info@informedamerican.com. The world is hard enough, and now we gotta deal with this bullshit.